Hello and welcome. I was on the latest episode of Warships podcast and you can find the link to it in the description of the video. Otherwise you can just Google Warships podcast and you'll find it. Today I'm in the Tier 8 Soviet cruiser, the Mikhail Kutuzov. This is actually a match I had today, so it's a very recent one and actually one of the few matches I've played in the recent days. I haven't really been playing that much World of Warships recently. I don't even really know why. I don't understand. I guess I've been reading way too much and that has taken up a ton of my time. And playing some, a little bit of Civilization on top of that doesn't exactly help either. So, it's a match on the map, what's this map called again? It's not Trident. Estuary. It's called Estuary. Okay, so, it's domination mode and I'm using these modules and commander skills. So I'm heading towards the decap, but I don't plan on actually going in there. My plan is to go towards or near this island over here. I want to get as close as I can before I get spotted. I'm obviously going to be spotted soon. When I say spotted, I mean actually shot at. And once I start getting shot at, I'm just going to use smoke and then be next to the island. The reason why I want to be here is that once my smoke dissipates, I will have a place to run away to. So that, I won't just die. Because I am getting a lot closer than you normally would. Like right now, except the destroyer, I was the closest ship to the enemy team here. This is actually something... like, this kind of playing is why I was excited for Royal Navy cruises, because they could also be this kind of aggressive, where they get really close, but then they always have a chance of, defending themselves. Like, I just used smokescreen. The main thing that could affect me is radar, but I'm positioned in a way that if that became an issue, I could run away. Obviously, in this match, it's not going to really happen, because, it's a random battle and people generally don't think about those things. They will simply just focus on some other target instead. So I'm shooting that North Carolina with HE. I'm very surprised by the amount of straight up damage I'm dealing with the guns. I'm getting a ton of fires, but because this damage control party lasts for 20 seconds, I don't really get any to stick. Also, I'm gonna start moving slightly forwards because an Atago came and torpedoed and she definitely was in range so that these torpedoes would reach. Fortunately though, they had been spotted before, so it was easily possible to dodge them. So I'm gonna focus on the North Carolina. Again, I want to fire at the front of the ship, or middle, sorry. The frontal middle part, I guess. And then I'm just going to try to set these two Bismarcks ablaze. You don't really want to focus on the Atago. I think if I get runaway fires on an Atago, those are going to be a lot less scary, since percentage-wise it ends up dealing less damage, and cruisers do have better damage control parties, at least ones with a lower cooldown. So my smoke dissipated and now I'm just going to run away, and I'm probably not going to get punished heavily for this, because I can just run away due to the way I position myself. I would like to mention that I'm going to stop soon in my position because I'll be behind an island. But I would like to mention that currently what's happening is that the enemy team is doing a push on the decap. So my position is very good for it. But if the enemy team had been pushing towards the A-cap instead, I would have had to go up towards the decap, and that would have... I couldn't have taken advantage of such a good position for my ship. So there are definitely ways to counter this. They just generally aren't straight up ways to fight someone. I mean, there are those things like radar and maybe a rushing battleship with hydro, but there are ways to play against this, so it's not like this smoke and HE spamming gameplay is something that's unbeatable. Otherwise, cruises would probably be a lot more common. Or, I guess, destroyers would be a lot more common in divisions, because people like winning, and then they would just abuse cruiser plus destroyer divisions with smoke screens, but actually they don't really seem to do that all that much. At least in my experience, it's pretty rare that in a division somebody is going to smoke me when I'm a cruiser. Although if I division with certain people, then it does happen quite a bit. But often it doesn't. And so we have the 8 cap because for some reason the enemy team didn't really contest it, and we sent, I believe that's 4 ships over there. They also seem to have an AFK destroyer. So this means that we are 4 ships less on this side. Okay, I guess 3 ships since they have the AFK destroyer. 3 ships less, so we need to try to take advantage of good positions like we are. At least I currently am. So that's why it's important. Although I believe the Benson over there isn't doing a very good job at being a destroyer, since it seems the Benson is gonna get taken out very soon due to the planes. That is, not that the planes are going to kill it, but the planes are going to spot the Benson and then he's gonna get killed by something else. We'll probably lose the Bismarck over that at the decap, but we should be able to take care of both of the enemy Bismarcks as well, so it shouldn't be a big loss. I think I'm gonna defensive fire very soon, because I don't want those torpedo... Like, right now I'm already within range, so that my defensive fire would be useful for this Benson. And it seems actually that I was wrong, our Benson did survive. Surprising. Didn't expect it. And I'm gonna keep burning these Bismarcks down, because I used smoke earlier due to the fact that I got shot, and this is it. I believe that they are misplaying the situation, at least if their plan is to deal with me in some form. Because they really shouldn't be sitting at this mid-level range that they are. That doesn't enable them to really... Like, if they spot me, the chances of them instantly killing me are low. And the chances of me running away are pretty high. If they came closer, the chance of them instantly killing me once smoke dissipates or anything like that would happen would be much higher. And well, smoke disappeared, so I started moving. Actually, I started moving and then smoke disappeared. You really should pay attention to your smoke duration and you know, make sure that you know more or less when your smoke would disappear. I really like that they've added that as the tooltip. So I got Witherer. This means I've done the 60,000 damage with fires. That's more than I've done with, you know, just shooting my guns. But yeah, like I said, they really should have either come a lot closer or stayed really far away. They should not have been this medium range thing, because that one was really beneficial for me, since that one meant that I would stay alive once smoke disappeared. I wasn't in any kind of... there was no risk for me to get killed by the fact that the battleship was rushing towards me and would suddenly spot me. So I felt like the enemies misplayed it on the attack at the decap. I believe that if they had pushed straight ahead and towards us, they would have been able to take us, including me, and it would have been a much more interesting game. So one of the Bismarcks went towards the middle. I fired my torpedoes at her, but I guess I'm not very certain that those would be hitting, because the Bismarck has changed some angles. And I swapped to AP, so I'm firing at the... right above the main belt. That's where German battleships, or actually battleships in general, have very thin armor, except the König and Bayern. Oh, actually one of the torps hit. That's very good, and goodbye Bismarck. And I guess at this point the game's already over. They pushed at D. Defending is easier because of torpedoes and smoke screens. So we definitely took advantage of the map. We had less people at B, and I guess defending at D. Those people were at C, or heading towards C through A. And the enemies pushed, but they didn't push hard enough, and we broke their push. As a result, we come away with an overwhelming victory here. At least, you know, I don't really see them having any chance of surviving. At this point, the reason why I'm focusing on the Bismarck is purely selfish. I should be shooting the Atago if I was trying tooth and nail to win the game. But right now I want to kill the Bismarck because I'm very certain that if I get the kill, I'm going to get the fire flags thing. Yeah, arsonist, exactly. So now I'm gonna switch to AP on the Atago because she's showing broadside, but probably she's gonna turn away. Yeah, she turned away. That's unfortunate. But I guess it doesn't really matter. AP in superstructure does... okay, it didn't do any damage almost. She is showing broadside, so I imagine she torpedoed on both sides now. But I don't think those would reach me. Yeah, she torpedoed, but somebody else killed her. Oh well, the game's over. So essentially, in summary, what happened this game is that I went towards the decap, I saw that the enemies were pushing, and then we just defended, and defending is easier than attacking, especially with a ship that has smoke screens and does quite a bit of damage. So I did 153,000 damage. I got Arsonist and Witherer both, because I got pretty good fire RNG, 19 fires. And I got 2032 experience, no caps though, so it kind of makes sense. It seems though that our experience is fairly close by on our team, like many people that did fairly well. And this is how the damage went, 82,700 damage in an 11-minute and 30-second game. That's some insane fire damage. Whereas the 211 shell hits only did 56,000 damage. But then again, it is Mikhail Kutuzov, who has low caliber HE guns, which means that the HE shells often don't penetrate, that is, they don't deal damage, but you know, fires will still get going. I shot down some planes, a fair amount actually, considering the fact that the carrier never attacked me. One of the reasons why I think Kutuzovs get so many plane kills is because when you're inside smoke, it doesn't show up for the carrier that a Kutuzov is in that smoke. Usually you think that that's just some random destroyer. But then you find out that it's a Kutuzov, but you find it after all your planes are already dead. Also, you just saw that I got 21,000 Captain XP, but it's with that dragon flags. So anyways, I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon now. Thank you very much for your continued support, Martin Wolf, and I hope I see you guys next time.